So I was just 10th pass, married off at the age of 16. बस एक ही सपना था कि पढ़ना है मुझे, मतलब कुछ भी करके पढ़ना है. तो मेरा शर्त भी ये था शादी के वक्त कि प्लीज मुझे पढ़ाइएगा. एंड आफ्टर ही लेफ्ट दे स्टार्टेड टॉर्चरिंग मी कि हम लोग इसकी दूसरी शादी करवा देंगे, ये कर देंगे, वो कर देंगे. 1.5 साल तक उन लोगों ने मुझे ऐसे ही टॉर्चर किया. एंड वन सडन डे दे केम बैक. तो आई वाज कमिंग फ्रॉम पाला स्टेशन एंड आई स्टिल रिमेंबर वो मैकडी के पास वाला जो पोर्शन है उस बिकॉज ये लोग मुझे ढूंढ रहे थे और मैं छुप गई थी because I did not wanted to go. So they thought that I have an extramarital affair. I am having an affair with someone.
So yo, hello, Kissey, this is Dishan Replay and welcome back to the podcast. And aaj we are going to do something similar to the last month's episode, I think so. But this story is more of a woman empowerment thing, and which we like he says, catching this theme of women empowerment, where we like to present every female in a powerful situation. So today we have someone from an NGO space, and she's working from I think so last 1 or 2 years, right? How many years?
8 years.
8 years. Oh my God. Oh my bad. Our bad. Because our research is less. We don't like to research. We just like to talk. So keep your hands together for Khushboo Goel. So hi Khushboo, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm great. Actually, I'm feeling great because it's very exciting to share story and to talk about yourself. So it's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when we contacted, I think so it was 1 or 2 months back.
Yeah.
And it is a long period.
45 days. More than 45 days.
Yeah. So the story has been brushed out. Wiped out. So we like to hear from start. And we'll not waste time, okay? Because people otherwise comment कि ये time pass कर रहे हैं. So let's start. I like to hear, how did you reach out to us and why? What was your purpose to reaching out? Let's start from there. What was the main source? Because you are into this space of giving power. So what is your real motive, end goal to come out and talk about it?
So what I believe is my point of getting through the real world and showing mirror to myself and to people around me. Kyunki somewhere if I wouldn't have started this journey and I wouldn't have taken this ki nahi mujhe, I have to do it. I just cannot sit and cry on what has happened. Either I would come back more powerful, more beautiful, and I would give my best. And that's how my journey started. And we were talking before we start the podcast that my life started here. Yeah. This was the place this was the place where life started. And see, again 8 years down the line, I'm back in the same space, and but different Khushboo. I'm not the one the shy, the scared one who was very scared to share her past. I was very small. I was 19, 20 when I started working. So it gives me goosebumps when we were coming, even when I saw these roads, सारी memories एकदम से ताज़ी हो गई. Yeah. So if I talk about my childhood and my reason why I wanted to be a part of Kissey was the word itself, Kissey. It's something that gives you that feeling of not hearing it, listening to it. So I want people to listen to me. कहते दुनिया में सबसे मुश्किल काम होता है अकेले रहना. You do not have ears to hear your story. क्योंकि लोग हमेशा सोचते हैं कि ये तो ऐसी है, ये तो वैसी है. The moment the woman is rebellious, people start judging her for what she is, how she is. So my reason behind coming out on social platforms and talking about myself and my story is that I want to change that perspective. I want girls to know that marriage is not the ultimatum. You are the ultimatum. Only you can make everything else work out for you. Because what I think is, we all are selfish. So that is how it is. So I really want people to know about such stories. Maybe somewhere I am encouraging some other girl who could, like, gain courage listening to me. So it's very like overwhelming to share, the ups and downs, the ideas that I've had in my mind. And when I started this journey, I was a zero. I could call myself a big zero, and now I could say that I'm a one.
Oh.
So this journey itself has made me what I am today. So जब शुरुआत की थी तब तो डरी सहमी खुशबू ही थी, बस इतना था कि थोड़ी सी वो ऐसे कहते हैं ना, जैसे जब दूध खोलता है तो वो जो बुलबुले या जो वो बुलबुले आते हैं, तो वो बस वो बुलबुले थे. सो समवेयर उन बुलबुलों ने कब ज्वाला का रूप ले लिया रियलाइज नहीं हुआ. मुझे पता नहीं है कि मैंने ये जर्नी कैसे की, बट इतना पता है कि मैंने कर लिया. सो आई वाज जस्ट 10th पास, married off at the age of 16. बस एक ही सपना था कि पढ़ना है मुझे, मतलब कुछ भी करके पढ़ना है. तो मेरा शर्त भी ये था शादी के वक्त कि प्लीज मुझे पढ़ाइएगा, बिकॉज वी कम फ्रॉम लाइक पेरेंट्स इतने पढ़े लिखे नहीं थे. समवेयर लाइक हमारा कल्चर या फिर उनका कल्चर जिस हिसाब से वो पले बड़े हैं, आज भी बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स के लिए बेटियां बोझ हैं. ओके, एंड समवेयर वो कहें या नहीं कहें, लेकिन उनकी जिस तरीके से वो बेटियों को ट्रीट करते हैं, उन चीजों में समझ आ जाता है कि एक बेटे का क्या वैल्यू है एक फैमिली में और एक बेटी का क्या वैल्यू है. सो नाउ things have changed, like people support girls, there's a lot of women empowerment, feminism and all. But I think down the line 10 years back ये सब process बहुत slow. So
it was like zero, like I think so, not zero but one के हिसाब से था.
Yeah.
And people were not paying attention to females as per today, like जो rights दिए जा रहे हैं, जो power दिए जा रहे हैं.
Absolutely.
There was like less of interaction with females which were happening. And because maybe I think so we were at the same age when we were like in the college or something. So तभी भी our BMM group, as we are studying in BM, we were a BMM student. So तभी वहाँ से I got to know कि like why female empowerment is important and everything. Because before that I think so it was a basic Indian culture कि females belong to a certain thing and like वो दिमाग में बिठा देते हैं.
बस यही करना है, मतलब किचन, शादी, बच्चे. Like that was the whole concept when it comes, when people are talking about women. No one is talking about a working woman. No one is talking about a woman who is handling kitchen, home and office at the same time. So still वो अभी बीच में एक मीम बहुत वायरल हुआ था कि लोग आजकल बहू को चांद पर भी जाने देंगे, लेकिन पहले बोलेंगे चाय और 2 पराठे बनाकर जाओ. So that is how it is. That is how we have seen women. Okay, and see what, like when I started my journey, even उस वक्त भी सिचुएशन यही थी कि कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना है. लाइक आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर फ्यू स्टेटमेंट्स फ्रॉम माय मैरिज कि लड़की को आंखें उठाकर नहीं देखना चाहिए ड्यूरिंग द सेरेमनी. शी शुड नॉट स्माइल. So she should have that laheza, that so I was, how idiotic was it? Like they changed my name to just put me in that, like that kuwa, I would say kuwa. They put me in that kuwa, and it was like they were expecting me to be a frog, which I was not. So somewhere, because shadiyan is related to respect, prestige. So ये pressure था कि you have to make your marriage work out. But what I believed was, ठीक है 1.5 साल I suffered with each and everything. उन लोगों ने मुझे पढ़ाया, लेकिन उनका ऐसा था कि सुबह उठो, घर का काम करो, घर का सारा काम करो, and then school college जाओ. And like I was admitted to a college जहाँ पे कन्नड़ा में teachers पढ़ाते थे, and I was like, what am I doing here? I was so scared of going to college, and that too I have to dress in a certain way. I cannot go to like shops. Like अगर मैं किसी बेकरी पे बिस्किट का पैकेट लेते हुए भी दिख गई ना, तो भी घर खबर पहुंच जाती थी कि आपकी बहू
So you had to like hide your face.
Yeah, absolutely, because I was converted. So that was the situation. It was so difficult, but because I wanted to survive, all of this, कि बस एक था कि maybe things would change, maybe things would, and unluckily I would say luckily, क्योंकि शायद अगर मैं माँ नहीं बनती या मैं प्रेग्नेंट नहीं होती तो शायद मेरे अंदर ये जो हिम्मत है, ये जो जज्बा है जीने का, वो नहीं आता. एंड समवेयर in 3-4 months I did not even knew that I was pregnant. I was such an idiot that I did not even knew that I was pregnant. And that was the, like, start of more evil things in life. So there was a theft that happened at home and I was blamed for it क्योंकि वो कबर जो था वो हमारे कमरे में था. So that was the thing that that वो वहां से फिर वो साइकिल शुरू हुआ. इन-लॉज के झगड़े, इन-लॉज की गालियां. तो I was one point jet point clear. मैंने क्लियरली बोला या तो मुझे जहर दे दो या तो टेक मी टू माय मदर. We'll talk about all of this after I deliver this child. And they were like कि हमने कभी बच्चे पैदा नहीं किए क्या, ये तो नाटक करती है. And it was like the month of Ramzan, the month of Ramzan, and I fasted for 1 day and I was out. I was like out. And वहां पे एक कल्चर है, वहां पे कैसा है कि मतलब पता नहीं, इंडिया के बहुत सारे कंट्रीज में ऐसा है कि डॉक्टर्स सिर्फ ना कमाने के लिए काम करते हैं. I've seen this, like उन like cesareans are very normal there. So I was 8 months मतलब next month I would have a normal, but the doctor was like नहीं, she wouldn't be able to deliver a child. Look at her, वो तो मर जाएगी, ये तो बच्चा पैदा करेगी.
They do force. Today's day, I've seen doctors forced to for cesarean.
Yeah.
For no reason at all.
And that is the same culture what they do there. Like just to earn money, they would like force you for cesarean. And that was the thing. I was clear in my mind कि मुझे नहीं करना है. I would like genuinely wait. और फिर वहां से हम निकल कर आए and 3-4 दिन ये सब चीजें चली रही थी. And I was very clear. तो एक दिन suddenly सामान बांधा and we left. So remember 26th of July 2013. Like I left. I was shifted to Bangalore. So I left Bangalore and I came back to Mumbai. So I did my studies till 10th in Mumbai and then I was shifted to Bangalore and then I came back for my delivery because it was not convenient for me to deliver a child in that situation. And I was like, कुछ भी करो, मुझे बस इस परिस्थिति से अब निकाल दो क्योंकि it was becoming very difficult. क्योंकि मेरे लिए survival was important. I was just 45 kg and my child inside me was around 2.53 kgs and I was weak. I had no मतलब मुझे उन लोगों की सबसे बुरी चीज है ना, दुष्ट लोग खाना भी नाप के खाते हैं. Like, why do you measure your food? Like, we earn to eat.
Your in-laws basically were like measuring what you were eating.
Yes, exactly. मैंने बोला ना, जैसे अगर मैं बेकरी भी जाती थी तो like घर तक न्यूज आ जाती थी कि आपकी बहू ऐसी बेकरी में खड़ी थी.
What?
Yeah, literally, we were not allowed to eat apples. Like, I still remember the days when I used to hide these dry fruits and all in my clothes. So,
but this was in Ramzan?
Yes, this was during every like ये तो वहाँ पे अभी भी है, वहाँ पे ये जो culture है अभी भी है. It's that they still measure what they eat and they are like that. मतलब उनके खून में हो. You cannot just change that. And somewhere when I look up to them, I'm like, what kind of a human these people are. And that is where कहते हैं ना, जब हम बहुत ज्यादा बुराई सहते हैं तभी शायद कहीं ना कहीं हमारे अंदर वो हिम्मत आती है कि हम एटलीस्ट खुद के लिए स्टैंड ले सकें. इट वाज आउट, लाइक मेरी जो सहन शक्ति थी वो खत्म हो चुकी थी. एंड व्हेन आई केम बैक मुंबई आल्सो, इट वाज जस्ट 10 days फॉर माय डिलीवरी, लाइक लिटरली 10 days. नो हॉस्पिटल वाज रेडी टू टेक मी इन. they are like, she would die, like literally she would die, because I was weighing around, like I told you, 45 kgs and I had a 3 kg kid in my womb and my whole body was swelling because I sat and I traveled. Like I was sitting. We स्लीपर में वो सेमी स्लीपर होता है जिसके ऊपर बैठ के वी ट्रैवल तो बैंगलोर से मुंबई. एंड व्हेन आई लैंडेड मुंबई आई वाज लाइक बिग स्वेल. आई हैड नो ब्लड इन माय बॉडी. आई हैड नो, लाइक मेरी जो बेसिक फंक्शंस है वही सही से नहीं चल रहे थे. मैं बच्चा क्या जन्म देती. एंड every doctor was like, she's a minor. I was just 17. She's a minor. अगर कुछ हो गया तो हमारे हॉस्पिटल का नाम खराब होगा.
But coming back to this situation when you were told, how was it happening? Like, how did the government allow to get registered for legal authority?
So what I feel is, ये government, ये सारे जो rules and regulations हैं, ये सिर्फ शहरों में चलते हैं. Even now, when you go to small villages, nothing has changed. Trust me, nothing has changed. आज भी, like, sorry to say, but we recently had a marriage. The girl was a minor and he was a 30-year-old man. So we still have all of this. तो मुझे लगता है ना कि जो empowerment है, जो changes है, ये सिर्फ शहरों में है. अभी भी गाँव में कोई भी चीज बदली नहीं है. लोग जैसे थे वैसे ही हैं. So somewhere lack of education is the cause. Like, you know, educating people is very important. People don't know कि एक लड़की अगर 18 साल के बाद माँ बने तो उसकी क्या कैपेबिलिटीज है और 18 साल के पहले माँ बनी तो उसकी क्या कैपेबिलिटीज है. उनके लिए बस शादी कर दो, बच्चा हो जाए. लड़की उनको लगता है शादी इज द सेटलमेंट, अल्टीमेट सेटलमेंट. लाइक मेरी बेटी की शादी हो गई मतलब मैंने बोला गंगा नहा ली. So that is how it is, and it is still happening. I don't know, like, you know, in many portions of Rajasthan, it's still happening. Yeah. It's still happening, and I come from Srirangapatna. Srirangapatna is a small village. आपने टीपू सुल्तान के बारे में सुना होगा. Like टीपू सुल्तान का जो death place है, that is our village. It is still happening. No one is stopping them. Yeah, stop कौन सी चीजें हो रही है जो कोई रिपोर्ट कर रहा है. जैसे कोई शादी हो रही है अंडर 18 बच्ची की या बच्चे की, तो कोई जाके रिपोर्ट कर रहा है. सपोज किसी ने रिपोर्ट किया जाकर, तो देन एक्शंस आर टेकन. फ्यू थिंग्स, कुछ दिन लड़के को जेल में रखा जाता है. ही हैज टू गिव सम फाइन. बस उसके बाद it's same. Nothing has changed. And down the line 10 साल पहले जो हो रहा था वो आज भी हो ही रहा है ना.
I think so. Like, if any authority from government of India, please rise this topic up, because Kissey is about changing scenarios and Kissey is about telling stories. This is really, really, really shocking, because this is the second case which is coming on Kissey. Child marriage. Fuck, what is going on in this universe? Yeah.
And the worst thing is that what I just don't know. Being a parent, like, you know, what I feel is being a parent is a sense of responsibility. It is never something कि नहीं बस ये हो जाए. Parenting is not this. Even when your child is 50 or old, he is still going to be your child. You can never get rid of it because he is going to be your child. So somewhere ये जो हमारे पेरेंट्स की जो सोच है ना कि यार शादी कर दो, बच्ची सेटल हो जाएगी, शादी लड़का बिगड़ा हुआ है, शादी कर दो सुधर जाएगा. This concept has to change, like, you know, and somewhere I think it's high time we need to start men empowerment. It is very important that we start training a man how to behave, how to respect a woman, how to treat a woman. Like, you know, when even now I see people talking shit to women. Like, you know, जो औरत अपना सब कुछ छोड़कर, अपनी सारी दुनिया छोड़कर आपके लिए एक, you know, देश के एक कोने से दूसरे कोने तक आ जाती है just to be your wife. And what do you give her in return? आप उसको 2 वक्त का खाना भी नहीं दे सकते. So it doesn't make sense. Marriage doesn't make sense. But actually marriage is like this doesn't make sense. But when you are married to a real man, like, you know, who knows how to keep a woman, who knows how to handle a woman, only then it is like. अभी पॉडकास्ट शुरू होने से भी पहले मैंने कहा था कि एक आदमी सही तो सब कुछ सही, और वो एक आदमी गलत तो पूरी दुनिया गलत हो जाती है. एंड दैट इज हाउ इट इज. we girls are trained to be dependent always. पैदा हुई बाप के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है, भाई के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट, शादी हो जाएगी हस्बैंड के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है, बच्चे हो जाएंगे बच्चों के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है. So somewhere this dependency is the culprit. We are not able to see our values. हम औरतें अपनी वैल्यू ही नहीं देख पा रही. And down the line, we as parents we need to understand that अगर मेरी बेटी ये कह रही है कि I want to get educated, I want to stand on my feet, I want to run this world, this little own world on my own, let her do. Please let her do, because आज के टाइम पे ये हिम्मत भी करना और ये बोलना, क्योंकि as the world has become very lazy. We, like, you know, we choose the laziest way of living life. Like, मतलब, और हमारा जो generation है 1996 born, we know, we have seen everything. Like, you know, we have seen almost everything.
We have seen a shift happen.
Correct, absolutely. When I was in school, there was no WhatsApp, no phone. Phones were there, but we were not able to, like, you know, have that accessibility to it. But then suddenly आने वाले उसके बाद 5-6 सालों में सब कुछ बदल गया. हर बच्चे के पास फोन है. बट क्या हम इन चीजों को राइट वे में यूज कर रहे हैं? आर वी अभी आज हर कोई देखोगे आप तो लोगों को एडुकेट करने पे लगा हुआ है, लाइक रूल्स बताने पे, लाइक हमारा सनातन धर्म बताने में लगा हुआ है. सो देयर आर पीपल हु आर ट्राइंग टू लाइक ब्रिंग आउट good things for us. But do we look up to them? We don't. We actually don't look up to them. Like even when जब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा होता है, हमारा concentration नहीं होता कि हम उस चीज को देखें ज्यादा समय तक. But वही अगर there is something very shitty that is happening, we love to see that. कोई किसी को मार रहा है, like अभी recently जो हुआ, what has happened with that little girl. Yes, that was so devastating. Not even a single human helped that little girl. Where is the humanity gone?
And not just her, because I've seen this. I don't want to bring any specific religion, but why is it always a Muslim guy and a Hindu woman? I don't understand what is going on. Now you'll see the news, right? It is always a Muslim guy and a Hindu.
That's a propaganda. I think that is a propaganda to show up things like that. But I think no bad thing has a religion.
That is true.
मतलब कोई भी धर्म आपको गलत चीज नहीं सिखाता, कोई भी धर्म हो. ये जो सब ऑल्टरनेटेड लोग हैं जिन्होंने सारी चीजों को ऑल्टर किया है, एंड दैट इज हाउ दे टेक all these things, like alterated है ये सब कुछ, like so I could see, like so I used to do namaz. When I was converted, I used to perform namaz, and that gave me strength. Anything that is related to spirituality, anything that is related to God, always gives you strength to be strong. You have a friend to whom you can talk without any, like कोई भी पर्दा रखने की जरूरत नहीं है मुझे जब उससे बात करनी है. तो that is God, that is spirituality. Yeah, actually. And even now when I feel down, like I am a Mata Rani Bhakt because my father was a Mata Rani Bhakt. So literally you feel, see, even now I get goosebumps. So it is the power that runs this whole world. There is something that runs this whole world, and we need to believe in that. No one can deny that part. And that is how, like things start evolving. कहते हैं ना, like कभी-कभी हम ऐसी चीजें मांगते हैं जो हमारे लिए सही नहीं है. So somewhere we need to understand this, and that is how, like life changes. And the journey of being a mother, like from being a little girl who was just married off to, like कंधे से बस जिम्मेदारी हटानी है, and then that little girl taking the whole world on her kandha and moving her own world is strength. Is God, is like nature. That is how like the world works. And like even now when I remember my I wouldn't say golden days, but even when I now remember my days, there were days where I used to look up to people and I used to be like, yaar, why is this to only me? Like why is me suffering? And somewhere I realized, if I have given all these challenges in my life, there is a reason behind it. There is a reason. I am meant to do something bigger. And like when the kid was born, when I holded him in my hands, that was the moment of realization कि अब अगर मुझे जीना है तो like इस बच्चे के लिए जीना है, क्योंकि इतनी मुश्किलों के बाद मैंने इसको जन्म दिया. And I literally remember I was admitted to the hospital like one day before, on 6th of August 2013. I was dying with malaria. I was suffering from malaria. I had no blood in my body. I had to deliver a child normally. I still remember they screaming up to me like, "Tu agar aise karegi, to your child would stop breathing. You have to push." And I was telling auntie कि auntie मुझसे सच में बिल्कुल नहीं हो रहा. And literally I remember her climbing on me, and like I literally had a bleeding nose after my and really she was the strength, like like यही अगर मैं कहीं और होती तो they would have been like cesarean कर दो, like she's not able to push the baby, do whatever. But what I believe is, कहते हैं ना, मुंबई हर इंसान को जीना सिखा देता है. And that is, वो auntie is the one, like they were 2 nurses and they were like continuously talking to me. And I still remember, I'm like, क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ? And The moment the baby was born, the moment I saw him, he looked like a white bear with, like, whole, he had jet black hair on his head. He was so cute. Like I still remember the day when I saw him, like, badi badi aankhein. And he looked like a little panda baby. And, like, और जब वो पैदा हुआ ना, then I realized, am I going to raise a man like my husband, or am I going to raise a man who is going to be a man of every woman's dreams? So that was my first question. क्योंकि अब मेरा क्या? So now I am not going back from where I belong. I don't want to go back. Now the question is survival. Like, अब मैं survive कैसे करूँगी? And somewhere, mummy was a major support. She stood by me, even though it was a family thing, but still she stood by me. And सबसे important था सर पर छत होना. And she was the one who, like, provided me with that. And, like, when this journey started, छत was the most important thing. क्योंकि अगर छत नहीं होती तो बाकी चीजें तो possible ही नहीं थी. And somewhere after I had my kid, ऐसा था कि responsibilities जो लेनी चाहिए एक father को, and the way he has to offer me and my baby, so he was unable to do that. And somewhere he started, like, playing with things, like, he started being, like, very shucky to me. And somewhere I was like, I don't have time for all of this. बच्चे के लिए दूध लाने के लिए घर पे पैसा नहीं है, तुमने अपनी गर्भवती बीवी को पूरे प्रेगनेंसी में ठीक से कुछ खिलाया पिलाया नहीं कि वो एटलीस्ट अपने बच्चे को फीड कर सके, एंड यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग मी टू, like, be your slave for nothing that you have done for me. Why will I do that? And somewhere, I don't understand why do men think कि भाई अगर शादी कर ली तो बस मतलब ये चीज अब मेरी है, चीज बना देते हैं हमें. मतलब suddenly, they objectify us like anything. मतलब मैं इसके साथ कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ. मतलब कुछ भी, मतलब it is मतलब ऐसा लगता है हमारे पेरेंट्स ने बस इनको दे दिया, बस भाई अब तुम कुछ भी करो, we don't care. And this is bad. This is extremely bad. And और ना मैं बचपन से ना मैं बहुत झगड़ालू रही हूँ. मुझे ना I have been like, मुझे कोई गलत कर देना ना मुझसे बर्दाश्त नहीं होता था. और समवेयर जब मेरे साथ गलत हो रहा था तब मैं नहीं रोक पाई. That was the saddest part. And I was helpless, like, to understand what marriage is, what childbirth is, what what is to take care of a बच्चे को कैसे संभालते हैं, बच्चे को कैसे पकड़ते हैं, like, that was the real struggle. And within that, finances, like, पैसा नहीं है तो आप survive कैसे करोगे? Like, people say that, money can't buy you happiness. But
can I ask something?
Yeah.
What was his age when you were, like, going through this?
Oh my God, this is the saddest question. He was 10 years older than me. Like, when I was 17, he was 27, 28.
Okay.
So we had one decade, like one generation gap.
So he was working or no? Like...
So he was a driver.
Okay.
So he used to drive. So he was into goods. Like we used to. Yeah. So हमारे यहाँ पे there are only two major occupations. One is goods and other is tourism. Okay. Because we belong to that part of the country. So there is only these two things. Okay, occupations. And lastly, अगर होगा तो वो कसाई. These are the only three occupations that are followed there. So he was one of them. And ऐसा नहीं है कि their family was not well-to-do. They are literally well-to-do. But their way of living life was different. And somewhere lack of education, lack of spirituality, right spirituality and right way of, respect. उनके लिए women's are toys. उनके लिए women simple, like women's are toys, and still it is there. मतलब आज भी मैं ऐसे statements सुनती हूँ. मतलब it's been 10 years, like it's been almost 9 years. Manthan is going to be 10 now, and मैं आज भी ऐसी चीजें सुनती हूँ जो मुझे दुख देती है, तकलीफ देती है. I hear people listening like he's married, he's again married, he has 2 kids with some another woman. So like my point is you spoiled my life because I did not wanted to like मुझे आपके रंग में नहीं ढलना था, इसलिए मैंने डिसीजन लिया कि I don't want to continue. But somewhere being a father, बच्चे के बाप हो आप, आपकी कुछ तो responsibility है. Just because I am not with you, I am not giving you all your like favors of being a wife, that is the reason you don't want to take the responsibility of the child as well. So this concept is wrong. Like usually broken marriages में ये होता है कि अलग हो गए तो बच्चा माँ की जिम्मेदारी है, बट ऐसा नहीं है, बच्चा दोनों पेरेंट्स की जिम्मेदारी है. नो मैटर बच्चा कौन से जेंडर का है, लड़का है लड़की है, वो दोनों पेरेंट की जिम्मेदारी है और रहेगा, अनलेस एंड अनटिल हम दोनों में से कोई एक मर नहीं जाता. That is a different case altogether. But you are alive. You are continuing your life with some other women. You have your own set of kids, and you left us abandoned. Completely abandoned. Like literally. I still remember Manthan was 3 months old when I used to work as a teacher, and I am very thankful to my teachers because during that phase, my teachers have supported me a lot. I still remember my teachers, my friends, they were constantly there behind me, like, how are you doing? And what I believe is ना, ये blood relations से ज़्यादा ना, ये जो हमारे रूहानी रिश्ते होते हैं ना, like our teacher, our friends, like, the people we meet around, वो रिश्ते ज़्यादा ज़्यादा मजबूत होते हैं और ज़्यादा प्योर होते हैं, क्योंकि उसमें कुछ लेन देन का हिसाब नहीं होता. It's just giving, purely giving. And when he was 3 months, I started working as a teacher. I remember I used to wear a burqa and I used to go to teach. I remember not feeding my kid for around 8-7 hours, and like my whole burqa is wet because I could not feed him. And that was the moment when I realized जब एक इंसान मुझे और मेरे बच्चे को नहीं पाल सकता, मैं इसके साथ जिंदगी क्या बिताऊं. And I was very sure कि मुझे ना लाइफ में इस चीज पे तो कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करना है, like बिल्कुल भी नहीं करना है. And one sudden day he was like कि मुझे अब यहाँ नहीं रहना है, मुझे यहाँ का लाइफस्टाइल नहीं जम रहा है, मैं जा रहा हूँ. मैंने कहा वैसे भी यहाँ पर रह के कुछ खास रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी तो उठा नहीं रहे हो, it's better that you leave. And after he left, they started torturing me कि हम लोग इसकी दूसरी शादी करवा देंगे, ये कर देंगे, वो कर देंगे. 1.5 साल तक उन लोगों ने मुझे ऐसे ही टॉर्चर किया. And one sudden day they came back, my Mosi and my like few relatives, they came back along with him, and they were forcing me to like चलो साथ में चलो, अब क्या होगा, एक बार शादी हो गई तो लोग क्या बोलेंगे, तुम कैसे जियोगी, तुम कैसे, दुनिया बहुत बुरी है, ये है वो है. They started.
But they were not seeing they are treating you wrong.
No, because उनके लिए तो वो सही है ना.
How can the world be so cruel at the same time?
It is. मैं सच में कह रही हूँ, like मुंबई बहुत अलग है बाकी सारे शहरों से, बाकी सारे गाँव से.
It's more like a family or like real family.
More open.
Even if you are meeting someone who is not like is a stranger, they'll treat you more nicely.
No, I would tell you the reality. I remember I was traveling. A recent incident about. I was traveling. हम लोग बाइक पे जा रहे थे, and there was a couple who was fighting inside the auto. This man was hitting that girl so hard that she was like drowning out of the auto. And he was hitting her so hard, like he was literally punching with his leg on her face. She was wearing a white dress, and I remember seeing them, and हम लोगों ने तुरंत गाड़ी ऑटो के सामने लगाई, and we were trying to stop them, we were trying to help, like बस कर यार, मत मार. And वो already उसको इतना मार चुका था कि उसका जबड़ा टूट गया था. She was bleeding. She had scratches all over her body.
This auto driver was not doing
nothing. He was doing nothing. And literally, वो लड़की बैठी है ऑटो में, and उनके बीच में कन्वर्सेशन चल रहा है. मे बी आई डोंट नो कितनी भी बड़ी उसकी गलती होगी, उसने कुछ भी किया होगा, but still who gives you, he's like बीवी है मेरी, मैं कुछ भी कर सकता. I'm like what the fuck बीवी. And वो बोलता है उसको कि तू घर चल, मैं तेरे को दिखाता हूँ. मैंने बोला ऑलरेडी यहाँ पे उस बेचारी को तूने अधमरा कर दिया है, तो घर जाके उसको क्या दिखाने वाला है भैया?
This was where in Mumbai.
जुहू, it was in Juhu. And you know, पीछे से लोग क्या बोल रहे थे, जरूर लड़की ने कुछ किया रहेगा, ऐसे ही थोड़ी मारेगा उसको. So this is the situation. We look up to women as objects. We do not look, and you know, even when अगर मैं बोलूँ ना कि like you know, इस लड़के ने मुझे धोखा दिया, तो people would have the mouth, the guts to say कि तुम लड़कियां भी कुछ कम नहीं हो. And this is because this is happening. It's not about the gender. It's about how cruel you are. I have friends जिनकी wife ने उनको मारा है. And you know, they got divorced.
This is because not like I know the basic reason, that is your upbringing, first of all, and secondly your parental trauma which comes along with your baggage.
Exactly. And that is how it is. मतलब बीवी है मेरी, मैं उसको मार सकता हूँ. He literally tore all her clothes like on the road. So this is the situation. We have not कहाँ education यार. I don't see education. I really don't see education. And you know, that was the motive why I walked out of this marriage, because I had some sense of dignity in me left. Yeah, I had my own boundaries. और जब, in fact, like you know, when I planned to get separated, जैसे मैंने बोला, they came back and they were like you know completely hammering me कि नहीं तू चल साथ में, how will you live वगैरह वगैरह, वरना हम इसकी दूसरी शादी करवा दें. I'm like, okay, I don't care. If what is a father? आज Father's Day है. You know, I would say a person who is responsible for the biological child that he has brought into this world, who is responsible for everything that is happening in that child's life, is a father.
Not just biological, even a father who adopts.
Yes.
Is like he plays as a father figure.
Exactly my point. मैं तो बोलूँ ये biological मैंने इसलिए mention किया क्योंकि आजकल लोग बायोलॉजिकल बच्चों को भी नहीं देखते हैं. तो अगर अडॉप्शन में अगर फादर अपने बच्चे को देख रहा है, then it is a like it's भगवान coming on the ground like to take care of that child. It's that severe. Even now, like you know, जब ये सब कुछ हो रहा था, I was the only one who was standing up for myself. I had no one around. There were people who were standing, जिसको तमाशा लोगों को तमाशा देखने में मजा आता है. And you know, that was the day when he hit me. तो I was coming from Parla station and I still remember वो मैगडी के पास वाला जो पोर्शन है उस because ये लोग मुझे ढूंढ रहे थे और मैं छुप गई थी because I did not wanted to go. So they thought that you know I have an extramarital affair. I am having an affair with someone. So इसीलिए जैसे ही when he saw me, and उस वक्त ना मैं चश्मा पहनती थी, तो he came and like he started like slapping me left and right. और मेरा चश्मा गिर गया एंड मेरे लिए मजबूरी थी कि मुझे मेरा चश्मा ढूंढना है पहले बिकॉज आई कुड नॉट सी. एंड द मोमेंट आई गॉट माय चश्मा, आई टुक माय चश्मा एंड आई रिमेम्बर उस दिन उसने मेरा जबड़ा तोड़ दिया था ऑलमोस्ट. आई स्टिल हैव क्लिकिंग वॉइस फ्रॉम माय जॉज व्हेन आई ओपन माय माउथ लाइक टू मच. सो दैट डे वाज द डे ऑफ रियलाइजेशन. क्यों, like you know, why is this marriage so important to me? Why is this कि मुझे ऐसा रिश्ता निभाना है जहाँ पे मेरी कोई रिस्पेक्ट ही नहीं है, मुझे रोड पर मारा जा रहा है, कोई मेरा स्टैंड नहीं ले रहा है. फिर मैंने बोला भैया अब तुझे जो करना है तू कर, मैं तो नहीं आने वाली तेरे साथ, तुझे दुनिया उल्टी करनी है तू कर ले, बट मैं नहीं. और उस वक्त लकीली मैं 12th दे रही थी. मेरा एक फ्रेंड था आशुतोष, जिसने ही वाज अ फेसबुक फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन. एंड मैं हमेशा लेकिन whenever I mention my success story, there are few people, आशुतोष, प्राची मैम, जिनको मैं कभी नहीं भूल सकती बिकॉज उनकी वजह से आज मैं जो कुछ भी हूँ, it's because of their efforts, because they saw that potential in me. They knew that this girl is going to do something. आशुतोष ने मेरी फीस भरी थी, मुझे याद है वो खुद वाशी गया था मेरा फीस, मेरा फॉर्म का करने के लिए. एंड आई वाज स्टडीइंग ऑलरेडी. मैं नहीं चाहती थी कि मैं अब वापस इस कुएं में कूदूं. मैंने पढ़ाई शुरू की थी तो मैंने उस वक्त यही रीजन दिया कि नहीं मुझे पढ़ना है, बिकॉज मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि मुझे इस रिश्ते के साथ करना क्या है. और सडनली मुझे एक दिन पता चलता है that he got married without my consent, without even knowing me, without even letting me know that he's getting married. My own sister was there present in the marriage. Even she did not inform me about anything that is happening, and it happened. And I think अच्छा हुआ. But somewhere challenges were different after that. Even after getting married, they were still bothered that, I should not grow. Even now, this person has not divorced me. He doesn't want to clear, still आज भी वो लोग स्टेटमेंट देते हैं जब भी उनसे न्याय मांगने जाती हूँ, कहते हैं हमारे गांव में, मतलब मुझे गांव के जो मस्जिद के जो सदर होते हैं ना, मतलब जो हेड होता है, उसने मुझे ये स्टेटमेंट दिया था कि हमारे गांव में सिर्फ रिश्ते बनते हैं, टूटते नहीं है.
So basically, he has not legally separated.
No, because when I spoke to my lawyers, so basically it is a null and void marriage. Because I was 16 when I got married, and they converted me. During marriage, they converted me. My name was changed. My religion was changed. So basically, this marriage is null and void in the eyes of law. So basically, when my Official Humans of Bombay story came out, I had a lawyer, Mrs. Kaur. Like, she was the one who guided me through the legalities कि तेरी शादी null and void है. तो अब तू डिसाइड कर तुझे अपनी जिंदगी कोर्ट कचहरी में वेस्ट करनी है या तुझे सब कुछ इग्नोर करके अपनी लाइफ नई तरीके से शुरू करनी है. तो उन्होंने मुझे बहुत रैश स्टेटमेंट बोला था. तो ये सोच कि ये तू एक रेप विक्टिम है एंड दिस किड इज आउट ऑफ अ रेप. सो दिस वाज द स्टेटमेंट दैट शी गिव मी. बिकॉज आज भी हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, हमारा लॉ इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं है कि वो हम जैसी औरतों को justice दिलाए.
Explain what exactly null and void is, because some of our viewers are like.
So basically, null and void is something, the marriage when it happens, like लड़की जो है वो below underage है और लड़का जो है he is like you're completely overage, and it also stands null and void because we were already not staying with each other for more than 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it was already null and void because when you are not, according to Islam, because it was a Islamic marriage, 3 months भी अगर आप अपने husband के साथ नहीं रहते हो तो you automatically get, and उस वक्त तो 3 तलाक भी बहुत ज्यादा ट्रेंड में था. So like उनके लिए तो ऐसा है कि फोन पे 3 बार तलाक 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 बोल दो, बस उनका सारा खत्म हो गया, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी खत्म, सब खत्म.
And that is just for the man, or the female also can say.
So there are 2 ways. So for if it's mutual, it's called talaq. If it is one-sided, like if the woman doesn't want to stay with the man, she takes khula. So what is khula? That she doesn't want to stay with the man. But even that didn't work out for me because मैं अगर सच कहूँ ना, अगर मैं legalities के हिसाब से जाती, I had lawyers who came up to me and they were like, हम लोग उसके ऊपर पॉस्को लगाएंगे, 10 लाख आपको मिलेगा एलिमनी, उसमें से आप 5 लाख हमें दे देना.
They do this lawyers I have seen.
So this is the constitution, this is the structure that we follow. There is no justice, okay? So for women like us, there is no justice. ये जो बोलते हैं ना एलिमनी आएगा, कितना टाइम में आएगा आपके एलिमनी, तब तक बच्चा क्या करेगा, भीख मांगेगा, तब तक हम क्या करेंगे, भीख मांगेंगे.
And in today's day and age, what is 5 lakh? Nothing. It is really nothing. It just goes away.
And खुला में what happens? It's just कैसा होता है, like there is some amount. जैसे कहते हैं ना, ये निकाह कबूल होता है 5,001 रुपए से. खुला में सिर्फ वो अमाउंट आपको मिलता है. अगर उसने 101 रुपए रखे होंगे ना, आपका वो वैल्यू, तो वो 101 रुपए आपको देंगे और बोलेंगे निकल जाओ. This is the structure. This is, I don't know who made this shitty rules. Like what I believe is marriage is such a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. We have made it so complicated, and I don't feel bad for myself because I survived. I feel bad for women जिन्होंने ये सोचकर उस चीज को अपना लिया कि मेरा नसीब है. ये किसी का नसीब नहीं है. No one deserves this. I swear to all the women who are taking domestic violence, who are like रोज पति से मार खा रहा है, रोज पति तुमको मार रहा है, कोई रिश्ता नहीं, कोई रिलीजन नहीं बोलता है कि आपको अपने पति के सामने झुकना है. No one says this. और like extremely this is wrong. कोई भी इंसान किसी के ऊपर हाथ नहीं उठा सकता. Maybe it is she is your wife, she is your daughter, she is your sister. No, you cannot do that. And हम औरतों को तो मतलब सरेआम जलील किया जाता है. It's not. We do not have that certain value. मतलब मुझे लगता है कि वो value attain करने के लिए क्या बोलूं, अब तो सीता मैया को भी अग्नि परीक्षा देनी पड़ी थी. दैट इज हाउ इट इज, दैट इज हाउ वी आर ट्रेन्ड. पति मार रहा है, मार खाओ. कुछ सब रिलेशनशिप में होता ही. दिस इज द फर्स्ट आंसर दैट योर पेरेंट्स गिव यू, विच इज रॉन्ग. वी आर नॉट कमोडिटी. हमने तुमसे शादी की है तो हम आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, हम आपके लिए कमोडिटी नहीं है. एंड वी हैव टू चेंज दिस टू like marriages to function properly. We need to change all of this. And there has to be trainings for men who want to get married. शादी के पहले ये 6 महीने का कोर्स करके इनके लिए कोर्सेस निकालो भैया, इनको ट्रेन करो how to handle a woman, because this is very important. And when this journey started, when he hit me for the first time, I remember going to the police station and I was helpless. I was unable to file a case. पुलिस वाले इज लाइक, ये तुम लोगों का हस्बैंड वाइफ का मैटर है, अभी तुम लोग लड़ेंगे और अगले पल तुम लोग एक हो जाएंगे. दिस इज व्हाट लाइक यूजुअल थिंग्स दैट हैपेंस कि वो लोग अभी लड़ते हैं और नेक्स्ट मोमेंट में दे आर टुगेदर. बिकॉज हम औरतों को सिखाया जाता है आप तो बलिदान करो, आप सैक्रिफाइस करो अपनी सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट. सो पुलिस वालों को भी वही आदत हो गई है, एंड दैट इज हाउ दे डील विद थिंग्स लाइक दैट.
This is not in the states and US में देखेंगे ना, this is not the case. If you file a case ना, they take it very seriously. They really take it so seriously that they just push the man inside.
So I would say ये हमारा bad luck है that we stay in a country जहां अगर किसी गुंडे को, किसी आतंकवादी को भी मारा जाता है तो भी ह्यूमन राइट्स वाले आ जाते हैं.
हाँ जी.
बट जब एक औरत की गरिमा सरेआम रोड पर उछाली जा रही है, जब एक औरत को सरेआम, आज मैं हर घर में डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस है. नो वन इज टॉकिंग अबाउट इट. हु इज टॉकिंग अबाउट इट? नो वन. बच्चे सफर कर रहे हैं. इवन आई हैड अ अल्कोहलिक फादर. आई नो हाउ इट वर्क्स. इट इज अ नाइटमेयर. एंड दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई आई एग्रीड टू गेट मैरिड. क्योंकि मुझे पता था दैट सर्वाइवल योर हर दिन मार खाना है. आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर द डेज like I used to hide, and वो आदत सी हो गई कि like खुद के इमोशंस छुपाना, कैसा फील हो रहा है वो छुपाना. एंड somewhere even now I do that and I'm unable to come over it. मैं कभी भी वो चीज खुद से अलग नहीं कर पाऊंगी कि मुझे पता है कि मैं दुखी हूँ. Still I have to smile. I'll dress good and I'll go. I'm like, wow, Khushboo, you're feeling very happy, but deep inside she is not. I am not. And somewhere क्या होता है, जब हम खुद को एक्सप्रेस भी करते हैं ना तो पीपल विल लाइक, क्या है इसका, खाली रोती रहती है, इसको तो कुछ काम ही नहीं है, इसके लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम्स हैं क्या? हर इंसान की एक सहन शक्ति है. सो व्हाट आई से इज, व्हाट आई डू इज, मैं जब भी किसी दुखी इंसान को देखती हूँ ना अपने आसपास, आई मेक श्योर दैट आई आस्क देम लाइक, डूड व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम, कैन वी टॉक अबाउट इट, कैन वी इसलिए उस दिन भी जब वो उसको मार रहा था, मैं चाहती तो भी मैं बाकी लोगों की तरह निकल के चली जाती. बट माय रीजन बिहाइंड स्टॉपिंग देम एंड बीइंग फिर भी शायद मैं उसकी प्रॉपर्ली मदद नहीं कर पाई, बिकॉज इवन द गर्ल वाज वेरी एग्रेसिव. शी वाज हिटिंग हिम बैक एंड somewhere that situation got worsen up because we were trying to help. तो कहीं ना कहीं I would say कहीं भी आप किसी दुखी इंसान को देखते हो ना, please help. Be a little kind to people around you. It's not that कि आपकी प्रॉब्लम्स बड़ी है, सबके पास प्रॉब्लम्स है एंड उस इंसान के लिए उसकी खुद की प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत बड़ी है. अब पीपल से आज भी मुझे लोग बोलते कि तेरा डिसीजन था ना कि तुझे अलग होना है, तो तू अब तुझे अभी सर्वाइव करना है. लेकिन वो कभी भी जाके उस आदमी को ये नहीं बोलेंगे कि भले से वो उसका डिसीजन था लेकिन ये बच्चा तेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. मुझे बोलेंगे कि हाँ, इट इज योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर माय मामाज एंड सेइंग मी कि नहीं, बच्चा तो माँ की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. तो भैया क्यों? आसमान से थोड़ी ना टपका है बच्चा. So that is how it is. We really, I wish I could start an NGO wherein we would be training men's, men's. I really want, men's to understand this, this is something that has to be taught at homes. घर पे मम्मी को समझाना है कि जब अगर तेरी बीवी आएगी या तेरी लाइफ में तेरी गर्लफ्रेंड है तो तुझे उसको कैसे ट्रीट करना है. We mothers, as mothers, we need to start talking to our kids about all of this.
It was a thing before the British era where we used to teach our kids how to treat females, how to Even Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ki mummy is a Ma Jijai is a great example how she brought up Shivaji Maharaj. That's why Shivaji Maharaj was who he is. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj made it possible and showed that it is a reality. That is how I think so every man should be raised, and every man should be treating his or their family in that particular way, because there is no escape. Otherwise, ये downfall ही जाएगा, because कलयुग है.
Correct.
And what will happen is it will spiral down every time this goes on. Fighting दिखेंगे, मारामारी दिखेंगे, acid attacks दिखेंगे. Oh my god, I can't just name things.
And because I कहते हैं ना, जो इंसान जुल्म सहता है उसकी ज्यादा गलती होती है, ना कि जो इंसान जुल्म करता है उसकी. क्योंकि जिस दिन आप सहना बंद कर दोगे वो करना बंद कर देगा.
It is even mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, right? You shouldn't tolerate the zulm. Whatever happens, you should respond to it.
Exactly my
Zulm
point.
सहने वाला बड़ा गुनहगार होता है.
So that is how it is, and that is the reason why I did not want it to adjust. ये मेरा मेजर रीजन था कि जहां मेरे रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है, जहां मुझे राइट वे में ट्रीट नहीं किया जा रहा है, क्योंकि मैं ऑलरेडी मेरा पूरा चाइल्डहुड में इसमें निकाल चुकी हूँ. मुझे एंड समवेयर मुझे इससे कुछ खास हासिल तो नहीं हुआ. मेरा 10 साल का और ट्रॉमा बढ़ गया बिकॉज आई एम स्टिल स्ट्रगलिंग. सो आई वुडंट से दैट लाइफ चेंज फॉर मी. एक्चुअली इट बिकम मोर हार्ड बिकॉज अब मेरे ऊपर मेरे अलावा एक और इंसान की जिम्मेदारी थी. तो समवेयर that is how the journey started. He got married and then never ever they came up to me and they were like कि नहीं भाई कुछ ले लो, at least बच्चे का खर्चा. Even now I am doing it all by myself. अभी मेरा बच्चा 5th में है. I don't remember one single day when they turned up to me and they were like कि खुशबू नहीं ले, इतने पैसे ले ले, बच्चे की फीस भर दे. तो मेरा मत दो यार, मेरे लिए मत करो. And there is no constitution, there is no law for such things. Only the mutual understanding, only the mutual respect that we as humans have for each other can allow us to take these roles. Okay, there is no. अब अगर मैं एक normal तलाक या normal divorce case की बात करूँ, it takes 10-15 years to
just to escape. I've never heard very quick divorce or something like that.
It only happens with the celebs.
Okay, yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true.
I never saw a normal girl who doesn't want to survive a bad marriage has got divorced like this, unless and until she has a lot of money, unless she's from a rich family. Why would I choose to get? अब मुझे justice नहीं चाहिए. I really don't. No one in this world could give justice to me. Because I've already suffered my part. These people could not take my suffering back. I have spent all my young years in surviving. जब मुझे खेलना कूदना चाहिए था, जब मुझे जिंदगी जीनी चाहिए थी, that part I have spent. मेरा चला गया वो time. And now I'm struggling to just to survive. So no one can give me that time back. No one. No law, no court, no constitution can give me that time back.
Nothing.
And what is happening on the other side? He's enjoying his own part.
तो पढ़ी नहीं है, like normal life जी है.
So that ये difference कौन create कर रहा है? ये जो difference है, who is doing this?
That's an unexplainable answer.
Who is doing this difference? एक औरत अगर अपने पति से अलग होती है और एक आदमी अगर अपनी बीवी से अलग होता है.
I think so. This is a denial of society which we have created. As human beings, we have been in a delusion that man and woman should be responsible for each and every situation as per the gender roles. That is where it comes कि ये औरत ने किया करना चाहिए और ये मैन करना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए.
It should be rules decide कर दिए, ये करेगा.
It should be actually 50-50% for both.
What I say is, where is this fucking society when I'm suffering?
Exactly.
Where is this society when I'm asking rights for my child? कहाँ है ये society वाले? I could not see them. Not even one person in the whole family, in the whole jamaat, in the whole panchayat, whatever you call it. None of them stood for me. ये बच्ची के साथ गलत हुआ है. You need to. I have heard statements. हम भीख मांग के खा रहे हैं, तू भी भीख मांग के खा, तेरे को भी पालेंगे. This is the statement that I heard. That they say वो लोग मुझे ये बोलते हैं.
And this is cruel, not wrong. This is worse than wrong.
This
What?
is the situation. Like this is and I still have people. I have recently his so-called wife right now. She claims me of wearing small clothes. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. This is my life. I don't even know your name. So कहीं ना औरत का असली दुश्मन खुद औरत है. ये जो औरतें हैं ना, इन लोगों ने पूरा रायता फैला रखा है एंड हम औरतों के अलावा ये रायता ना कोई नहीं समेट सकता. तो लिटरली औरतों जाग जाओ. It's a very right time that you be responsible for what you're doing, for how you are treating an another women in your family, because कभी कोई ये नहीं बोलता कि मेरे ससुर ने मुझ पे जुल्म किया. It's always सास ने जुल्म किया, नड़न ने टॉर्चर किया. So even zulm has a gender. So let's change. Let's talk about this. Let's make, like, you know, why do men do not stand for their wives when something wrong is happening with their wives in the families? Why? ये औरतों के मामले में तो पढ़ना ही नहीं है हमें. So somewhere ये सब हमारी family problems है जो national problems बनने वाली है थोड़े दिनों में.
It has started. What are you saying? It has started like national. हर घर का ये. It is a national issue because no one is teaching a man to be a man. So I think so. It is a responsibility of every man to learn how to be a man, as you said, and crack it down to core value education.
Exactly.
And learning that value education should be, as you said, from your mothers only. Mothers and fathers only. For mother and father,
Also teachers.
yeah, teachers. But first school is home itself, right?
But what I think is, like, you know, अब तक जो बेकार हो चुका है वो तो हो चुका है. You cannot change. But if the teachers like take up the responsibility of changing this world and making it a better place for the survival, I would say NGOs, they also play a vital role in, like, you know, जिस तरीके से सब कुछ बदल रहा है. Like I have seen NGOs working on a very large scale on doing such, you know, such things, like, you know, helping kids to understand what is good, what is bad. And, you know, I myself, I'm trying to do that. So somewhere I think teachers, parents, and collectively the whole society has to take up the charge to make sure that the child is, like, you know, brought up in that way that he at least becomes a nice human to another human.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not considering the gender, but that being
Any
kind.
Human soul to soul, basically, we can say every soul should be taught how to act as human beings instead of like just acting like animals and cruel beings on earth and just living in 100%.
I really have a small suggestion for all these educators. हम जब स्कूल में थे, have you, याद होगा हम सबको, एक civics की बुक होती थी जो एकदम इतनी पतली सी होती थी. Like, you know, it was like, अरे कौन पढ़ेगा civics? But down the line I realized वही था जो हमें पढ़ना था actually.
Yeah, it was there. हम लोग के इसमें वो था value education का book.
Exactly my point. उसके लिए मार्क्स नहीं होते थे. 4 मार्क्स का सिर्फ वो आधा था. 4 मार्क्स का.
For us, it has been like 20 mark का पेपर.
हाँ, 20 मार्क्स का पेपर है. 4 मार्क्स का तो सिविक्स में वैसे भी नहीं पढ़ूंगा. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? ऐसे ही हमने उसको स्किप किया बिकॉज इतनी पतली सी उसकी बुक होती थी. That is what is going to make you a responsible citizen. Basic rights, basic things. And we do not talk about it.
Not at all.
I would request उसको इतना मोटा कर दो उस book को and make it a compulsion that every social work that was an extracurricular activity that we used to do in school. Why is it an extracurricular activity? Social science, it is an extracurricular activity. आज मुझे बता दो कौन सा मैं sin theta cos theta लगा के जिंदगी चला रही हूँ. There is no sin theta cos theta in my life.
There are values which we need. But I think so, as I say in every consecutive podcast, there should be a Vedic culture reinstituted in studies because Vedic culture, Gurukuls taught how to live life exactly the way you have to live. And that changed the life of people in past. That should be brought back. मतलब वो पुराने जब स्टडीज आप वापस लाओगे, जब
हम्म।
जो गुरुकुल से सिखाते थे कि माँ बाप से कैसे बिहेव करते हैं
Exactly.
और वैल्यूज कैसे देते हैं, क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, दैट विल बेसिकली इनिशिएट अ स्टार्ट अगेन इन द सोसाइटी कि कहीं जाके चेंजेस आनी चाहिए, एंड दैट शुड बी फ्रॉम अस ऑल्सो कि आज हम लोग अगर आगे जाके वर्ड पास करेंगे कि हाँ दिस शुड बी रीइंस्टिट्यूटेड, देन कहीं 5-10 साल में वो वापस स्टार्ट हो सकता है, देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी.
And the saddest part is that people see a source of income in such concepts now.
Hmm.
Ayurveda, source of income.
हाँ.
Yoga, source of income. Like, what is happening? ये चीज हमारे पास है already and we are selling it. Nature, पैसा. Nature, पैसा.
I saw this. So I used to work in a yoga institute. Okay, so I was a cinematographer and a video editor for a yoga institute. Basically, digital things were handled by me. So they were trying to search for a yoga teacher, and the yearly package that they were providing was 40 lakh. I was like, what? 40 lakh rupees a year for a yoga teacher? And I'm like, gosh, and like this is serious. And like, yeah, they pay. Because these foreigners, like, they just do what they want and they need a nice teacher. I'm like, fuck, what are we doing? Like, okay, cool, that is Indian, but like, you are teaching something which was taught free, and now taking a huge sum of amount for that. Like,
इतना कैपिटलाइज कर दिया
bro,
उसको.
घुमा फिर 40 lakh rupees. And like, I'm not comparing or being jealous, but like, you're there are teachers. No, there are teachers here who teach yoga in free.
Yes, absolutely.
There are like social workers who want just good health of people. They just do it free. अरे बाबा, इन लोग को दे दो, उन लोग को जरूरत है. And this guy, I am not cheating. This yoga teacher had a BMW. She was like, oh, bushy and everything. And I won't take the name, but she's a celeb. She's a celeb, and everyone knows who is a celeb and does yoga.
Oh my god. I got it.
So
she was, अब तो फिर तो she deserves that package, honestly.
So like,
so everything is materialized. So that is how it is. इसको हमें रिवर्स करना है, बहुत समय जाएगा एंड बहुत एफर्ट्स लगेंगे. और कहते हैं न्याय की शुरुआत होने के लिए अन्याय को बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ना पड़ता है, बहुत ज्यादा. जब अन्याय होगा तब. बट आई होप that this starts quite early so that we people like us who are struggling could live their life in a better way. क्योंकि मैं आज भी देखती हूँ ना, तो लोग कभी भी मुझे ये आके नहीं बोलेंगे खुशबू you're doing very good in life.
हाँ, basically ऐसे
They never-
compliment करेगा ही नहीं.
They would never say that. They would be like, oh my god, you're a divorcee. Oh, I didn't know.
you're not.
So
You're not actually.
that
Like,
is how
they
it is.
frame you that way.
People just find negative things और उसको ऐसे निकाल.
Frame दे देते ना, वही
हाँ.
बोल रहा है.
Exactly. And that is my point. And somewhere, like, this legality, this piece of paper has so much of value. I remember changing my son's name during this same process because I know that he is not going to take the responsibility. I still remember calling and crying up to people that मैं अपने बच्चे का नाम नहीं चेंज कर पा रही हूँ because I want my kid to have my name. And somewhere all this is so difficult for a woman to do. अभी अगर कोई अगर आदमी होता, अगर उसको चेंज करना होता नाम, तो he would have done that like this. We have questions. Father से letter लेकर आओ. But father is okay with that.
Why?
एडुकेशन जब भी आप कोई फॉर्म भरते हो, आपको पूछा जाता है फादर्स नेम, मदर्स नेम क्यों नहीं?
Exactly.
क्यों नहीं मदर्स नेम? आज जब मेरा बच्चा अपना नाम बोलता है मंथन खुशबू गोयल, लोग उसकी तरफ ऐसे देखते हैं, ये क्या हुआ? मतलब उस बच्चे को भी अगर सरवाइव करना है तो उसके लिए कितना डिफिकल्ट है.
It is very hard because the society, again, the same thing which is coming. Society has made these rules, and when we ask question to the society is not present there. It just disappears.
And आज भी मैं देखती हूँ when जब मेरा बच्चा बोलता है कि मेरा नाम मंथन खुशबू गोयल है, people look at him and with question marks they look at him कि हाँ एकदम अजीब नजर से देखते। बट मुझे वो नाम चेंज करने के लिए भी 2-2.5 साल लग गए, क्योंकि मुझे पता था जब जब मुझे कुछ पेपर वर्क करना रहेगा I have to go and beg them. They literally tortured me that we'll burn all your documents.
Why?
Because they wanted to take charge of my life. They didn't wanted me to study. I have begged in front of them to give my documents, to give my papers to me. I have literally escaped my papers from there. So this is the situation that we create for, एक तो already आप लोगों ने एक लड़की की life इतनी difficult बना दी है, and you live no chance to create a situation where she's more hurt. And that is how this fucking society functions. I just really don't. Sometimes, I lock up myself in a room and I'm like, I'm better like this. ये जो मेरा अकेलापन है ना, this is very good for me. Because I wouldn't be, क्योंकि मैं आज देखती हूँ जो मेरे एज के लोग हैं, what are they doing? Partying, getting drink.
Getting laid.
Yeah. I don't see people doing or giving back something to people जिन्होंने आज उनको बनाया. So somewhere my journey my journey was so uncertain. आज भी मुझे बोलते हैं लोग कि खुशबू तू you are meant to be this. What you are today, you are meant to be this. और क्योंकि मेरे जो specifically friends हैं जिन्होंने मुझे स्कूल से देखा, I was a person who used to always stand against something wrong that is happening. And luckily भगवान ने मुझे लेकर आकर उसी जगह पे डाला जहाँ पे मैं society को give back कर सकूँ. So I used to go to arena animation because जब मैंने I came early because I knew InDesign. InDesign was the first software that I learned. और उस वक्त SD Find में there was a magazine designer का vacancy, and I got that job here and I worked here for 3 months. So that was the changing phase of my life जब चीजें बदलना स्टार्ट हुई. बट तभी भी I was very scared. I used to never tell कि मैं I used to छुप के I used to talk ऑफिस में, और सबको शक होता था कि ये लड़की का कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. बट I used to never tell कि ऐसा है. बट जब मेरा 12th का रिजल्ट आया था आई रिमेम्बर, तो एक दिन मेरी जो कलीग थी सुकन्या, शी वाज लाइक खुशबू कुछ तो है जो तू हम लोगों से छुपा रही है, लेट अस नो, मे बी वी कुड हेल्प. That was the day when she sat with me, like she heard whatever was happening in my life and she gave me strength कि don't worry, सब ठीक हो जाएगा, अभी तो तेरा winning moment है, तूने just well crack किया है, slowly gradually कुछ ना कुछ मदद हो जाएगी. And she stated the same thing to Prachi ma'am, who was head, like वो department में she was head, and she was a very good friend of Sukanya. So Sukanya told Prachi ma'am that this is the situation of Khushboo and she wants to study. And the moment Prachi ma'am realized this, तब तक मेरा internship almost खत्म हो गया था, 3 months खत्म हो गए थे, and I left office with a very heavy heart, क्योंकि अब मुझे था now what मतलब हो गया 3 महीना खत्म, अब क्या होगा, अब आगे क्या. And when I turned up to mummy that मुझे अभी आगे BMM करना है, क्योंकि मैंने ये कोर्स किया था ना फोटोशॉप और ये सब, वो भी मैं मतलब ऐसे वो होता है ना यार, प्लीज हमारे पास पैसे नहीं, मतलब ऐसे मतलब लिटरली आई वुड से आई हैव बेग्ड to have this life. I have literally begged in front of people to have the life that I'm living. But people, लोगों ने मुझे समझा भी है उस तरीके से, उन्होंने मुझे सपोर्ट भी किया. Even when I was in arena, I was very loved. लोगों ने मुझे बहुत सपोर्ट किया. Like even when I was not paying my fees, they taught me. Like मेरे हाथ में कुछ तो था कि मैं बेसिक, जैसे अगर मैं उस वक्त कहीं स्टेशनरी पे भी लग जाती तो मैं एक बेसिक मेरा घर चलाने लायक अर्न कर सकती थी. तो इतना तो मुझे लोगों ने सपोर्ट किया. आई वुडंट से द होल सोसाइटी इज बैड, देयर आर गुड पीपल, बट जरूरी नहीं है ना कि वो गुड पीपल सबको मिले.
वो रेशियो ही बहुत कम है.
एग्जैक्टली माय पॉइंट. एंड दैट वाज द कि अब आगे क्या. तो एक दिन सडनली प्राची मैम कॉल्ड मी एंड शी इज लाइक तेको पढ़ना है. मैंने कहा हाँ मैम पढ़ना तो है. पढ़ना तो ऐसे था, जिद्दी थी कि पढ़ना है. तो शी वाज लाइक कि ठीक है काम कर, मुझे कल सुबह 10 बजे दादर स्टेशन पे मिल. मैंने कहा ठीक है. मैं खुशी बिकॉज प्राची मैम ने बुलाया तो मैं आ गई दादर स्टेशन. सो रिमेंबर शी गिव मी अ रेड एनवेलप व्हिच हैड 15,000 रुपीस. और उन्होंने मुझे उस दिन एक स्टेटमेंट बोला था कि खुशबू अब यहाँ से पीछे मुड़कर मत देखना. अब बस तुझे आगे जाना है. And that changed my life. You see me, I did my grads. उसके बाद very luckily, my friend Jagdish, who was my classmate in Arena Animation, उसने ऐसे ही अचानक एक दिन मुझे कॉल किया एंड ही वाज लाइक, खुशबू एक एनजीओ है, एंकरिंग करना है, 500 रुपया मिलेगा. लाइक 500 रुपया. एंड आई वाज लाइक चलो 500 रुपया मिलेगा तो जाते हैं ऐसे. बट मैंने उसको बोला कि भाई मुझे पता नहीं है करना क्या है. मैंने मतलब आई एम वेरी टॉकेटिव, तो लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि मैं बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ, मुझे स्टेज फियर नहीं है, बट आई नो हाउ आई डील विद थिंग्स. तो उसने मुझे बोला आई नो तू कर लेगी. उसने मुझे ऐसे बोला. कहा अच्छा तेरे को बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंट है मेरे. हम निकल गए. एंड उस दिन मॉर्निंग हम लोग बहुत जल्दी निकले थे. हम पहुंचे एक स्कूल में, नाला सुपा विरार में था वो स्कूल. और जैसे ही हमने एंटर किया एंड आई रियलाइज दिस इज एन एनजीओ जो बच्चों के लिए इवेंट्स करता है, मोटिवेशनल इवेंट्स करता है. बस मुझे इतना ही पता था. आई हैड 600 किड्स इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी वेयरिंग येलो कैप्स. 600 किड्स इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी. एंड जगदीश वाज लाइक ये ले माइक. क्या ऐसे कौन करता है? एंड दैट वाज द डे आई डिड एंकरिंग विदाउट स्क्रिप्ट. Today is the day I have done my grads. I'm a master in social work. I have anchored around 250 events till date. I have worked with around 1,60,000 kids till date, like close interaction with each kid. I have been growing. I started working with Kartavya in 2016, 1st of April. It's been 8 years since I have been growing and growing and growing. And that was the day when, like, life changed. February mein I did the event. April mein I was already in Kartavya. And फिर वहां से ऐसा था, I could sponsor my own education. I could sponsor थोड़ा सा, but yes, I could sponsor my own kid. I could do things that I like. I could do things that I want to do on my own money, but with zero savings. So life is not about money. Life is about how spontaneous you are with your decisions and how you use your money for your survival. That is what I have learned from life. And somewhere जब मैंने कर्तव्य में शुरुआत की थी तब genuinely मुझे नहीं लगा था कि मैं इतना आगे जाऊंगी. I genuinely did not knew. आज भी हमारे जो फाउंडर है, he mentions कि ये हमारी शेरनी है, and he calls me that for a reason, because I have met educational ministers, I have met politicians, I have worked with various politicians, but what is a rule is a rule. When we are working on the field, it is a rule. Like, we make sure that we maintain the authenticity of the work that we do, and that what gives my personality, the kick. Like, when you pay your own bills, you get that kick.
Proud moment.
Yes. So that was the thing, that was the change. And down the line, slowly, gradually, पहले anchoring किया धीरे धीरे. हमारे जो मैनेजर थे, he used to always tell me, खुशबू ये गलत हुआ. I used to always cry after every event. I used to cry. There was no event जब मैं बिना रोए, and I am a cry baby. I cry a lot. So I used to always cry and go home जब भी मैं event से घर जाती थी. But slowly, gradually, I understood that whatever he was saying was right. I need to work out on those things. Slowly, gradually, I learned to manage things, and now I'm a counselor. I train young girls on menstruation, and I also train young boys on menstruation, how to handle their female identities during menstruation. So, and simultaneously we have been doing these empowerment events all over the state. So somewhere now my life sums up to one single word, that is Khushi Didi. So kids call me Khushi Didi. And the moment so I still have thrills जब post event जब बच्चे मुझे पूछते हैं कि दीदी आप वापस कब आओगे. That is the winning moment of my life. That is when I say कि खुशबू, this was what you was meant for. अगर मैं घर बैठ के सिर्फ रोती और मैं ये बोलती कि नहीं ये मेरा नसीब है, मेरे साथ ये ऐसा हो गया, मेरा वैसा हो गया, मैं लॉयर के पीछे घूमती और मैं बस इंसाफ करती, nothing would have changed. I would have been same, that zero, that big huge zero who has no value unless and until she has a one. So that is how it is. That is how, you know, life changes with education, with awareness. आज मुझे बहुत गर्व महसूस होता है जब मैं, you know, I still remember when I give trainings to these young girls, I stand outside the toilet and I guide them how to put a menstrual cup. That is my win. Like, you know, when I know that this menstrual cup is going to save so many pads going into the environment and this is going to change that girl's life, that this is going to make them more aware about their bodies, that is the winning moment. I have trained around 60,000 kids on good touch, bad touch. When the kid knows कि अगर किसी ने मुझे यहाँ touch किया तो मुझे no बोलना है because of खुशी दीदी, that is the winning moment for me. And somewhere, you know, I don't think अगर मेरे साथ ये tragedy नहीं होती तो मेरे अंदर जो ये जज्बा है ना लोगों के लिए काम करने का, लोगों को प्यार देने का, because मुझे वो प्यार नहीं मिला, because मुझे वो like, you know, I still have challenges in my life. I cannot live like a normal human. I cannot live like a normal girl because things are different for me. I am still going to be called as a single mother. But that is not, सबसे best चीज ये कि that is not going to stop my professional journey. That is not going to stop my journey of awareness. Because there, no one knows who I am. They just know my voice. They just know that what Khushi Didi is telling is authentic and we need to learn from her. That's all is what they know. So somewhere, what I think is, only education can save you. Only and only your self-love can help you to come out of every bad thing that is happening in your life. And on behalf of all the single mothers and all the women who are struggling to find their identity in this big bad world, I really, really want you all to ask yourself a question that, do you deserve this? Like, do you really deserve this? And if your answer is no, then give yourself a chance. Work on your life. Marriage is not the ultimatum. Love is the ultimatum. Like, love is the only thing that could save you from anything and everything. And firstly, self-love. When you respect yourself only, then people will respect you.
People don't have that thing ना कि वो खुद का value नहीं करते.
Exactly my point. And now when I look up to myself, I'm like, I know life was bad to me. I know I have my problems. I am a divorcee. I'm a single mother. But no one can stop me. And no one can, you know, let me down and tell me, Khushboo, यहाँ तुझे रुकना है.
No.
I have given no right to anyone to do this in my life. Not even my parents, not even the so-called husband, not even my child. I want him to be responsible. I want him to be responsible. And that is the reason why, like, you know, कहते हैं, see, now I'm going through a phase जहाँ पर मैंने 4th standard तक बच्चे को अपने बहुत पास रखा. We struggled somehow, but now I decided कि he should go to a hostel so that he learns more discipline and he has to be a better person, like, you know, who could understand what is going around him. And this decision was not easy for me. People would think that I'm cruel. एक ही बच्चा है, वो भी तूने hostel में डाल दिया. But I think this is important for him to understand that he has to love himself.
So I think so you have given a lot to the society and you're doing very much great.
But I feel वो जो कुछ हुआ, it's a reason ना कि जो कुछ हुआ, it is because now you're teaching people and transforming their life.
It's basically karma and the actions of your karma. Everything is related because ये जन्म का फिर last जन्म का कुछ तो होएगा कि you had to suffer so much. So you learn and then you make people understand that suffering is wrong. You should stand for yourself.
Absolutely.
So I just can call you superwoman. Yeah. One of the greatest women who have sat in front of me and just spoken everything out. This is really, really crazy. Thank you for giving your time. Yeah. Like, we are very grateful that you have shared the time. Before closing off, I like you to share कुछ बोलो ऐसे कि like people should understand this should be your last signing of words. So we do this segment where you can say anything, कितना भी लंबा बोलने का बोलो, no
Ultimate.
issue, ultimate, and then we'll sign off like after you are done.
So all I would say is don't treat women according to their marital status, whether she's a divorcee, whether she's a single mother, or whether she is a mother without the kid having their father in a right way. Every woman who has given birth to a child is special. The child is special. The woman is special. And किसी ने मुझे एक स्टेटमेंट कहा था कि तू बस एक जरिया है उस बच्चे का इस दुनिया में आने का. And somewhere I would love to be that zariya because being a mother has given me that strength. अगर मेरे पास बच्चा नहीं होता तो मैं क्यों जीती? मेरे पास कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं होती. आई वुड हैव बीन लाइक अरे छोड़ो जो हुआ जाने दो. बट देन आई हैड अ रीजन टू लिव. एंड हम सबकी लाइफ में ये एक ऐसा कोई रीजन होता है जिसके लिए हम सब जीना चाहते हैं. एंड देयर इज अ पर्सन जिसके लिए हम कभी गिव अप नहीं करना चाहते. एंड I would say, like, to all the girls out there who are struggling with their lives, give yourself a second chance. Maybe something works out for you. And never, ever, ever fall for a person who does not respect you. Because love is respect and respect is love. Pyar, there would be a day when there is no love. If you respect each other, love is like, automatically there in that bond. And that is what I would say. Respect yourself, respect other women who are struggling, and just don't be harsh. Let them, evolve. Let them learn more. Just because she is a single mother, just because she's a divorcee, don't put her down. Don't, don't make it more difficult for her. And accept the fact that it was not meant to happen. Don't punish yourself in that way that you suffer. किसी और की गलती की वजह से आपको खुद को क्यों सफर करवाना है. So always give yourself a second chance. And एक चीज हमेशा याद रखना कि एक चीज ऐसी है दुनिया में जो आपसे कोई नहीं छीन सकता. That is your education. That is your skill. That is your way of handling situations. If you have this in you, you can make everything work out for you. It's okay if you feel down sometimes. If it is okay if people call you rebel, if people call you ghamandi, it's okay. Let the world roar about you, because जब हाथी चलता है तो कुत्ते भौंकते हैं. And that is the fact. कि जब हाथी चलेगा तो कुत्ते भौंकेंगे. And that is the ultimate thing. Ultimate thing. So be a hathi. Don't consider all these kuttas who are buffering out. Just focus on yourself and let yourself fly. Be you, love yourself a more, every time see, mistakes could be done by each one of you. गलतियां सबसे होती हैं, but आपके ऊपर है आपको उस गलती को कितना श्रेय देना है और उससे कितना सीखना है. And spread love, educate people, help those जिनको आप help कर सकते हो, and show a lot of love to all the children in your life because they are the mirrors. आप उनके सामने जो करोगे वो वही सीखेंगे. आप उनको जो दिखाओगे वो वही आगे चल के आगे कैरी होगा. So make sure that you're very good to your children, that you are be kind. Teach each child to be kind and to respect. वो छोटे हैं इसलिए उनको रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करना है, ऐसा नहीं है. जितनी रिस्पेक्ट आपकी है आपको उतनी ही रिस्पेक्ट अपने बच्चों की भी करनी है. So that gives them a sense of हाँ मैं भी हूँ इस दुनिया में, मेरा भी कोई अस्तित्व है. And that is when the child is going to understand his own value. So yesterday I was listening to a reel wherein some man was talking कि बच्चे कब बड़े होते हैं. बच्चे तब बड़े होते हैं जब हम कोई भी चीज जब करते हैं तब उनसे राय मांगते हैं. So even if your child is small, ask them, would you like if we change the color of this wall? So their suggestion should be valuable to you if he or she. And lastly, I would say, world is very bad. Please protect your kids, specifically young बच्चे जो हैं, starting from 5 years, 4 years to moderately 10, 12 years, till the time they are in the process of understanding. Teach them about the core things related to good touch, bad touch, because sexual assaults stay in the heart of the kid for life.
Forever.
For life. And I have felt it as a child. I know how it feels. I know how it feels when it is happening with some other child. I know how the child feels. And somewhere, जब हम हमारी रिस्पेक्ट, हमारी गरिमा के लिए उस बच्चे का बचपन खराब होने के लिए छोड़ देते हैं, that is the biggest loss. That is the biggest cruelty that we could do to our own kids. Respect what they're saying. Listen to them. If suddenly the kid is quiet, talk to them. Try to understand, and please be very, very attentive when your kids, their behavior is changing. And I really want these young little kids to enjoy their childhood, क्योंकि मैंने नहीं किया. And I really want them to understand what is life and spread love, give love. And thank you so much for having me here. And I would say, each woman is a warrior only when she knows that she is.
Yes. Self-awareness, basically.
Yeah. So be self-aware, love yourself, and make sure that you tell yourself thank you for taking all these bad days that have came in your life. Every day is a new start. And whenever you feel like crying, please cry. Let your heart out. Cry like hell out of you. Bring the hell out of you. Let your eyes be swollen. But make sure that when you have the next day, get up, dress up, and show the world that you are the best. That is how it is. Thank you so much. Jai Hind. Love to all.
Yes, nice. Thank you for coming here, bro. This episode was the greatest, of all time, I think so. In a great power empowerment moment, because every episode gives me something to learn, and this gave me a perspective of life. Ki woman can be a tigress also, like this. Oh my God. But thank you for coming, and this will really help many people out there, and many people might get
the girls and the women out.
Their perspective might
But still,
change.
be aware that you will also have people coming down and commenting bad about things.
Oh yeah.
But my message to all of them, भाई नहीं फर्क पड़ता आपकी बातों से.
That will happen.
That
That will just happen on Instagram, by the way, not on YouTube. Because YouTube is a safe space, and I think
I had this thing on YouTube also. During my last interview I did with Midday, there was some man who popped up into YouTube, and he's like, I know this girl. Her husband is my childhood friend, and she was the one who cheated on him. I'm like, bro, go have some life. But then that Midday people, they got because it was a accusation, so they spoke to me, and I'm like, I don't know this man. और उसके बाद फिर वो trace भी नहीं हुआ कि who was he. And I asked him also कि is this the person you know? So no one knew him. He just came randomly. So people will do this.
And we have seen this a lot. We have seen कि और
now also people will comment कि लड़की की side दिखा, उसके पति के side भी दिखा.
Because
have both the perspective, right?
Yes.
POV तुम लोग दिखा.
Because we are getting some comments right now in front of me कि the last episode which we posted about Vinita. So her comments are like कि लड़के की side भी सुनो. And there are people who know Vinita from school. They're telling कि ये सब story बता रही वो सच है.
Yeah.
बंदा वैसा ही and बंदा वैसे ही कर रहा है. That is different. But anyways, thank you again for coming. It is a great bro. I have no words to say now. But yes, thank you for coming, and bye.
Make sure to subscribe. Spotify पे भी follow करो, rating दे दो podcast को.
5-star rating is enough, I think so, because 5 star से पेट भर जाते हैं हम लोग का. or and subscribe. And if you want membership is in the link below.
It starts from
89 rupees. You can just start and buy and be a member. 89 rupees se. There are 399 where we launch episodes only boys, but we have not started yet because there are not lot of people, but we are starting soon. We are doing lives on the 89 section wala thing. And yeah, if you want to buy any of the affiliate things which are down there, Mono is there. You can buy mics over there, and you can plug into the VPN which is there. That is Surfshark. And last thing, if you like it, subscribe and give a like down below. And if you're
Support karo dosto.
because we need your support to grow. And let's aim for a ratio of 1,000 likes. Okay, cool. Till then, bye bye. Take care.
Shaba
Shaba
khair,
khair, whatever it is. Peace out.